Well, good evening, folks. This is something that you very seldom see on my channel, and that's me out in the fur shed. Because remember, I said I don't do instructional videos at all. But I have my handy dandy little tripod here, and there's one thing that I've seen repeatedly on some of the trapping forums is that about turning pelts, such as canines, where they've got to be turned. Well, you've seen the video this morning at 12:13, I think it was, of that female with that block of wood. Well, she's ready to turn. The one just in front of her, that was yesterday's. So my fur shed is running at that temp right there, 56. And I always have, as you can see, those fans blowing constantly. Constantly. You need to have air movement if you're going to dry anything. So, but what this is about, I'm wearing a tie-back shop coat, and as you can see over here, I have a tie-back coveralls. So that's what I wear when I'm skinning. I wear the coveralls or the shop coat when I'm turning to keep my clothes clean. The coveralls, that's for pest control and keeping the blood off me. And these tie-backs are not brand new. They're all used. You can buy them used, which is quite a discount, by the way. But anyway, going back to turning a coyote or a fox, and I've read where people are having trouble tearing the friggin' flanks, tearing the stomach, trying to turn the coyotes. Well, there's a couple things. First, people are letting them get too dry to turn. I think people forget about it, or they don't pay attention, or whatever. I keep pretty close attention. Now when I finished with that coyote today, when I finished and hung it up over here, it was 2:45. And you see what time it is right now, and you've already seen the thermometer, so you know with the fans blowing, and it's ready to turn. It's not too hard, too dry. It's not tacky, and that's what I look for. I don't want any tacky. If it's tacky, it's too wet. So you got to kind of watch it. You got to pay attention, and you got to be responsible. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to show you how I turn my coyotes and fox. And I've done this for, good Lord, 40 years. I can't understand how I've never seen this mentioned about using a gosh darn broom handle to turn a canine. I'm telling you, it's kind of boggles my mind. Hell, they're standing on them and pulling and all sorts of shit, shoving their arms up. Listen, I don't tear coyotes. I don't tear fox. I pay attention to the drying time, and I use one process to do it. We're going to show you that tonight. Your drying time and paying attention to, you put all that effort into trapping the animal, skinning it, fleshing it. You need to go on and pay attention to turning the animal too. Otherwise, shoot, you might as well throw it in the goddamn garbage, because if you rip it, you're screwed. You can fix holes when they're fresh. You're a screwed monkey if you think you can take care of a rip at this point, really. So, let me go about my business, and I'm going to try to, hopefully you can see what I'm doing, to turn this coyote that you saw me catch this morning. Now, I pin the cardboard in the legs because it helps to get dry under here. Now, I also put borax. Hopefully you can see that. Now, the ears, I do kind of the same thing with the ears. I want them partly dry, and I use borax on the head, because there's meat on that head, even though you do scrape it. So, okay, here you got a coyote. You know, there's no tackiness. You can hear it's kind of dry. All right, let me pull the pins. These are adjustable stretchers, but I don't use them like an adjustable stretcher. I put them at a particular measurement and they stay there. I think it was like 9 inches wide at 39, and that's all I care about. The adjustable stretchers have got a nice airflow through them. That's all I'm concerned about, and my size, and that's very important. 9 inches at 39. So okay, I got a little hook up here. You can see that. I hooked the nose right over that. You see that? And I pull the stretcher out. There. Stretcher's out. So, you can see there's still some pliability in this, and this is what I want. So I'm going to turn my back on you, because I think you'll get a better idea. Broom handle. First thing I do before I get to the broom handle is I put my ears back inside. Okay. Now, the broom handle goes on the nose. See that? I think I got the camera positioned pretty close. Pull that baby down right inside the mouth. And then, it's just like putting a goddamn condom on an elephant dick. You just keep pulling her down. Pulling her down. Pulling her down. Because remember now, the farther down you go, the wider the pelt is after the 39 inches. It's going to be. You just keep pulling it down. You don't touch the friggin' legs. You don't touch them. You just keep pulling down, pulling down. And what have you got? You've got a perfectly turned coyote. Perfectly turned. So, again, I don't understand what all the BS is about ripping and tearing unless people have gone and let their pelts dry too far, too long, or they don't know how to turn them. I'm telling you, I've done this for 40-some, well, back in the 70s with Fox. And I haven't read about it on the internet. It's just a simple friggin' broom handle. And that's all there is to it. Well, that's this morning's coyote. Now I'm going to put it back on the stretcher and I'm going to continue drying it. So folks, I don't make instructional videos. I don't want to do that. You won't see me describing how I make my sets and how I set traps and how I bed and all that stuff. But I thought I needed to show you, from what I've been reading on the forums, how to turn a doggone canine and at the proper time. Simple as that. Well, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow on the line, dispatching another one of these. Later, guys. Before I go tonight, I probably should show you what I use to skin coyotes. This is a strong arm winch, 120 volt. They're usually used for boat winches. Then I use, which is really, it's all it is a motorized boat winch actually. But it's what I like about it, you know, is of course it's got the remote control and it stops instantly. There is no slowdown, there is no pause, it stops instantly. Now this old boat winch I've got right here, that is just for lifting coyotes. Because when I do is I start a coyote in this contraption. and I set the hips right in this, clamp the tail, and then I take some ceramic knives. I use these ceramic knives right here, and I actually skin back off of the hams, the hindquarters, the hide. Once I get them released from the hams, skin back, then I take it back out, and I put a pull on it with the golf ball and a half hitch right there. So no tearing of pelts, but remember what I said. Listen, I got degenerative joint disease. My shoulders and elbows are not what they used to be, so I need a little help, and I spend a little time. It takes me about a total of 20 minutes to skin a coyote, and it takes me another half hour to flesh one. And there's my fleshing beam right here. It's all made out of high density polyethylene pipe. Right there. And it's handy. I can put everything right on my table. But yes, this right here, this little contraption really has helped me release the hips and the legs and pull them down before I go to skin. So I just thought I'd probably better show you that. But yes, the strong arm winch is not friggin' Harbor Fleet quality. It's way above that. So it's pricey compared to the stuff from Harbor Fleet. But I love that friggin' winch. I'm telling you, it stops instantly. There is no play. There is nothing. No creep. No nothing. She's a dandy. I love that. Should have got that winch years ago. So anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. I'll see about getting this loaded up and be on our way. But until tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow. Later, guys.